Welcome to another edition of Action 14. I'm Mike Briggs. We'll bring you information from the city, from the school, and from the arts. We start out with Mayor Pullman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. It's always a pleasure to be with our TV 14 viewers.
We have a lot of things happening. I want to compliment you. The streets got completed to Riverview just in time.
Wasn't that nice? Like minutes left?
Yes, but the streets are tore up all summer near Riverview Middle School, and they got all patched up, all done, all completed before school started.
That was nice, and they worked hard to do that.
Yes.
So hats off to the crew. Yeah.
We also have at Piggly Wiggly some lights that have been put in. That's new also.
Well, the lights for Piggly Wiggly will wait until next year, 25. Some reconfiguration, construction work. You know, it's never simple to do something.
Right.
Down on South Street, they put those lights in because it was wide enough and all the state requirements for these kind of yellow beacon lights were sufficient, so that was much easier. The one by the pig will come in 25, and it has to be reconstructed a little bit because of width requirements, passing requirements, all those sorts of safety features that come into play. So we'll get them there, but not till next year. So,
right.
And that'll probably happen, I would think, after school is out, so we don't interrupt that.
And we should mention that because school's in session now, be careful where you drive and be very careful in the morning and mid-afternoon when so many students are out.
Yeah, safety first is always the rule to follow. Yep.
I also want to compliment that Mill Street is pretty much open now. It looks like they've completed most of their digging. They've relayed the cement in most of Mill Street.
Almost 100%. The gas lines are in. They haven't hooked things up yet, but they've done all the underground work, and that's moving along very, very quickly, which is really nice. They really attacked that quickly, and they worked around some of our downtown activities, so that was nice. The businesses were accommodated as needed. So it was a very good joint effort between the gas company and the city.
It was. I'm pleased that they are nearly completed.
Yeah. There's always odds and ends. But
certainly.
They have worked through that quickly, and actually the new sidewalk looks kind of nice in places.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple things, housing projects. We have a couple of them, housing projects happening, two different locations. Which one you want to talk about first?
Well, we could do the one that is already somewhat approved west of Walmart off a Carr Road, and that one is independent of private. It'll be condo housing type things. And
that's all been approved now.
That's conditional on the public hearing before the city council the end of September, and then the council has to approve the TID tax incentive district number 7 creation. So we're about 90% there. I don't anticipate any opposition to creating TID number 7. That development will probably be about, I think it's 148 units, due to start next year. And
those are all going to be apartments?
Those are all condo apartments, 2 and 3 bedroom, and they will be upper end, if you want to say that. The second one that we have, that will be middle income, but this one will be upper end, and the private developer is doing that in 2 phases. Phase 1 will start next year, and he'll finish it probably in '26. But that one will be our anchor to our tax incentive district number 7.
And the second one to talk about is the one that's east of the high school, between the high school and PP.
Right, east of the high school football field.
Right.
And that one,
How many acres is that?
that's about 33, 34 acres.
Okay.
So it's going to be, I believe it's 180 units. Those will be single-family housing. There'll be some side-by-side duplex in there, so there'll be a little mixture. But basically, it will be similar to what's going on in Falls over by McDonald's in that area. So it'll be a similar thing. It's through the Sheboygan County Economic Development Corporation, SCDC. So it'll be similarity in both construction and design, although there will be a lot of differences because the terrain over there was flat as a tabletop. Over here, there will be hills and valleys, some exposed basements. They're actually looking forward to a different couple variety of housing that they can fit in there because of that. So it'll appear quite different because of the landscape of the land, and we're excited about that.
And this is housing for purchasing.
Right, purchasing. The other one is all condo rental. This one is for purchasing, mostly 90% single family. There could be some side-by-side duplexes in there, but it'll be single family, and that's going to be quite a shot in the arm for beginning homeowners and families of that kind. And we're using the forward fund, which we have an advantage because we extended our tax incentive district number 4 for 1 year, gave us about 2.3. I think the final number is coming in about 2.5, which is very nice because that gives us a nice seed money to put into that program, which that was a design of the state law when they created it. We piggybacked on that. So the requirements are that money has to be 100% used for new and improved housing.
Okay.
The advantage that we have is these are city funds. We control them without federal or state oversight or direction. There's always, some broad direction, but we have a lot of flexibility because it's our design. And we're looking at a revolving loan program in that. So that will be part of the adoption of TID 7, which runs from over by the Walmart location for Vanguard, kind of meanders through and then ends up over by the vacant land in back of St. Vinny and by the east of the football field.
Right. And so it could change the growth of Plymouth.
Oh, it definitely will. Yeah, when you're looking at 148 units in one and 180 in the other, you figure that's 300 families plus. Definitely will, and the housing is needed.
Oh, it is.
We are so short housing. I don't think homes even sometimes go on the market and they're scooped up. So we're really anxious to get these off the ground. The adoption of TID number 7 will be a big boost to that process. We were TIF'd out is the term that's used up until April of this year. We're finally back in the ball game. And we've been working on these projects for 2 or 3 years. Finally, we can act on them having TID 7 created, which, as I said, end of this month, the city council will do that. It's timing for us because October 1st, the state law changes, makes it a little more difficult to do what we're doing.
Oh.
So this is very important that we execute this, get it approved, and have everything in order. So the council meeting next week for the council will be quite historic and very important to not miss that October deadline.
Right, and so the 24th is the last Tuesday of September.
Correct.
And that's when you will be hopefully completing it.
Yeah, we'll have a public hearing, same information that was at the Plan Commission and the organizational meeting for the district creation will be talked once again. This is a public meeting where the audience can participate, and we encourage them to come and ask questions. We also have the information on the city website, so we encourage people to check on that. It's designed with what we have kind of in the hopper. Speaking of those two projects, we have a senior housing project that was disclosed at the Plan Commission meeting as well. That's 47 units. Those planned units of development will cash flow this tax incentive district. There's still vacant land, additional commercial housing, mixed housing areas that are available. I think that district is like 342 acres. It's a big one.
Yeah.
And or it's 242, one or the other. But there's a lot of development that will increase the value of that, similar to TID 4 that we just closed, and had enough resources to pay for all the infrastructure, sewer, water, electrical, all those improvements to cornfield comes at a high price. So we are very excited to have this on paper, the commitment's already there in the creation of this. So it'll be a good incentive for us.
Now, one last item, briefly, is that there is some talk and disruption, if you will, on Highway 67 on the west side of Plymouth. Some property there that has a few people were speaking at your last meeting actually on it.
Correct. Yeah, that's a corner. That would be the south west corner of PP 67 in Hillendale.
Right.
And there was a rezoning application that came forward that was approved at the rezoning meeting and Plan Commission. That comes to the city council, which has final approval on everything, and they have to demonstrate their financial ability. The dollar, I think it's Dollar General that
Yes.
was listed, that came forward, and so they need to go through the process of approval there, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess I should tell everybody we are a long ways from this happening.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight, and they have to demonstrate their ability to in that location. Our biggest problem on the intersection
Right.
is we don't have enough traffic for the state to say, go ahead and put lights in or put something in similar to PP and 57, where we have left-hand turn lane, stop and go lights, and we don't have the traffic on 67 and PP that we're allowed to do that at
Okay.
this point in time.
So even if we had the money available to build it, you have to get state approval, and we don't have that at this time.
We don't have that at this point. So those are all, I hate using the same term all the time, traffic count, but that's what the state checkoff list says, and when you get to traffic count and you don't have it, and of course, we all know there's a lot of traffic there. I mean,
Yes.
I've driven there many, many times. We all have. Trouble is, it's not high enough like PP and 57 just a mile away.
Yeah.
So we need to increase the traffic in order to put lights in. We can't do that just because we want to.
We have all been backed up 6 and 8
Oh.
cars waiting to get on 67 from PP.
Yeah.
Depending upon the time of day, I would say between 3 o'clock and 3 p.m. and 5 p.m.
Oh.
It's way backed up, but
Yeah, it's terrible.
but it's not enough traffic.
Not
The state just won't let you do it yet.
We have asked for and proceeded with traffic counts 3 different times that I'm aware of. Unfortunately, they don't cut the mustard yet.
Okay.
So we need it to go up quite a bit.
But the people living
It's terrible.
across from that, they either want the traffic to go down or to put a roundabout or lights in
roundabout
or
lights
something.
in.
Yeah.
And we even thought with the 96 unit 8-plex that went in, okay, this will really help us out. Wrong, it didn't do that much.
Not that much, huh?
Just a little bit of a bump.
Okay.
So it's like, that's not enough? Well, that's only 96, you know,
Yeah.
and so their traffic numbers are what dictate the pros and cons.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the dam.
Oh,
We're going to
okay.
remove the dam. We're still on board. We've got a step closer, aren't we? We're a step closer.
We're very close. Engineering is in. The water flow study is in. Everything is in. The only thing that we're now finishing off with is a negotiation with the property owner on the west side of the dam, because the city park with the flags is on the other side, and we can do what we want over on the city side, but we have to have access to both sides. And
Yep.
so that negotiation is going on for an easement in order to get the equipment in and proceed to do the testing and the construction. It's not as extensive because it's smaller than the dam that was replaced out at the marsh. So if people went out there and saw the construction, and I mean, there was tons of equipment everywhere, and they had to move a lot of earth and everything else. So visualizing that, this isn't just a postage stamp that you're trying to fix. When
Right.
it's done, it'll be the same size it is now. But until then, you have a lot of construction that you have to do. So we need to have access to the west side, talking with that property owner. We believe that we'll come to an agreement on that. There's always a remuneration that is incentivized in those type of easements, whether it's for the dam or a power line or a sewer line. There's always some costs involved in that. But we can't do the project without having that engineering done, because they're literally right up against each other. And so we're working through that. We're hoping to have something in place by the end of the month.
Okay.
They want to start doing some of their field work this year yet,
Oh, good.
and that would help greatly come springtime, when they start pulling the boards out and the water starts going down, and then they start removing the existing dam, and oh my goodness, it's gonna be a mess for a year and a half,
Well, yeah,
probably.
next year will be
Yeah, there'll be no mill pond in '25.
for 25, there will not be a
No,
mill pond.
there's no mill pond, so if you plan on going.
Well, we hope it's back by in 26. though.
Yeah, if you're gonna kayak, don't kayak in 25 on the mill pond, it's not, they're gonna be there. But, yeah, if all goes well, things will be back to where they should be and better in
Certainly.
26,
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something else that's kind of neat, because the Canine Fund, I did not even realize there was a Canine fundraiser. We have two.
We now have 2 canines
Yeah.
instead of 1. When we hired our latest officer, he actually came with a canine because he was a canine officer in his previous county employment.
Yeah.
So we were glad to pick that up. We get a lot of use out of both of our canines. And the fundraiser is always the Monday after Labor Day. So we just finished it here 2 weeks ago, and it's a golf outing held out at Crystal Golf Course, and we had a real good turnout, better than last year, and the expenses to keep 2 canines going
Right.
is quite a bit.
Okay.
And we were very happy with the results of the police canine fundraiser out there. We encourage people to, next year it's September 8th, to put it on your calendar and get a foursome together. It's a best ball event, so you don't have to be Jack Nicklaus to golf, or Arnold Palmer, or any of those other players. But it's a fun event, and it really becomes a community-minded thing. So, and there's prizes and all that good stuff.
Lastly, before I let you go, are you ready for another walk?
Absolutely.
Because another walk is coming on October 4th, homecoming. I'm guessing you'll be walking down Mill Street again.
Well, I think that the homecoming parade is, if not the most attended, it's a very close second, because it seems like everybody comes out, and I just love the enthusiasm that takes place for homecoming. It just electrifies the city, and students are, they use their outside voices very well on that day.
Yes, yes. Well, I've already spoken to people that are in the getting their 50th reunion and 55th reunion, and they're all coming in.
Oh, boy. That's
Yep.
getting up there. That's
Well,
pretty
we'll have,
good.
and my belief is we will have our current governor will be here.
This is good.
Because that's his 55th.
That's his 55th, that's right,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's exciting because it brings everybody together in the whole community, and some of them who have moved out back to the community, and that type of enthusiasm is just so much needed today.
Yes.
It really is, yeah, and
So
I'm sure it'll be worth it.
So I'm looking forward to seeing you walk down Mill Street on the 4th, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
I need to mention to everybody that the city council meetings are the second and last Tuesday of every month down at City Hall, starting at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
And be part of it. Show up there if you have a question or concern, and be part of the city.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
When we come back, Donna Hahn will be here. We'll be talking about some of the great things happening in the world of art. Lots of things happening in downtown Plymouth. Stay right with us. You're watching Action 14. Welcome back to Action 14. As promised, I've got Donna here. We're going to be talking about the many things happening in the arts.
Hi, Mike.
You've got a busy couple of months here, don't
We
you?
do. We have
Yep.
lots coming up before the end of the year, and I'm just so glad I can share it with
Yes.
your
Well,
audience.
let's talk about what's on show right now. If I went in there right now, it's called Sculpt.
Sculpt, it's a sculpture show, and it's fabulous. Really interesting work from a great variety of artists, local artists, about
You've got
16 of
16
them.
of them?
And so come in, it's free, you can come in and take a look.
And that's, it's open until October 4th.
Yes.
The last, so get down there now and let's check out what's happening in the current. And when that's done, October 4th, then you're already preparing for the next one.
Yes.
That includes membership.
Yes, we are taking applications right now. Each of our members, whether you're a member right now or you want to sign up right now to become a member, you will be able to put one piece in our membership show.
Right. But there's a timeline we've got to deal with here
Yes.
because you must get your entry form, if you will,
Yes.
in by October 18th.
Yes, that's the deadline.
And so you've got to get that in by October 18th and be prepared to deliver your,
Your paintings or your sculpture
Yeah.
piece or whatever in November.
yeah.
Yeah, we won't have that opening until November 22nd, but the actual big party is going to be December 6th.
And so you, generally, you'll have people selling them also?
Yes, we like to have them for sale. You don't have to have them for sale, but it's a great opportunity for folks to come in and maybe they'll buy a Christmas gift for someone.
What I can't get my head around is the 29th annual.
Yes,
You've been holiday membership at exhibits for 29 years.
yes.
This is unbelievable.
It's a lot of work by our gallery committee, and
It sure
they
is.
do a
yes.
wonderful job, and we're really proud of the work they do.
It's fantastic. But we have to mention, if you're a member or you want to become a member,
Yes,
you can still become a member, but you've got an October 18th deadline.
and it's for ages 16 and over.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, if you're in high school and you want to apply, you certainly can.
Yes, and I think you should. I think we should have some high school students.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I'm going to do is take this down to our art teacher and see if I can't promote it.
Great.
To have some of our local talent here at Plymouth High School be
Yes.
part of your show.
And we have had some in the past, so we look forward to more.
Yes. Another item happening very recently now, because so many things now that you've gotten by the jazz crawl, now there's so many other things going
Yeah,
on.
we have a lot of free events coming up, and Paint the Towns is one of them. It's not free for the artists. They have to pay an application fee, and artists can register now and throughout the event, actually. But they paint from October 2nd through October 9th. And then we're going to have a big party, a free party for the public on October 11th. So you'll get to meet the artists and possibly place a bid on your favorite piece.
Well, the neat part about this on the Paint the Town, because I've been to some of those shows, is that not only do you get a local artist, but the painting is local also.
Yes.
And so you actually can look and go, oh, I know where that was done. And it's really a different situation than you have from anyone else.
We've had many paintings of the 52 Stafford,
Yes.
and City Club has been a great one for the artists to paint. And yeah, just up and down the street, many of the local businesses have been painted. And then, of course, the beautiful landscapes of our, rural areas as well.
So if you are driving around during this timeline, the timeline again is October 2nd
through the 9th.
through the 9th, you're going to see people sitting on a curb or sitting near somewhere looking down Mill Street possibly.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing.
Yes, and all the artists are, they're able to submit at least 3 pieces to the show. And so, we're going to have a great variety. And Dan Rizai is our coordinator for this event, and he does a wonderful job. The artists do get together at least twice for like a little party. So it's fun for artists, so we encourage, if you're an artist and you like to paint outdoors, it's rain or shine, so
That's
you
right.
know. And like I said before, they can choose which days they paint, anywhere from the 2nd through, if they want to paint right up to the 8th and then deliver it on the 9th, that would be fine.
And so I guess I'm asking people to be part of that. It's a neat thing, and I certainly enjoy seeing paintings of areas I've been to. I recognize it,
Yes. Yeah, and they'll paint a farm, a local farm, and those folks will come in and possibly bid on that, and
Certainly.
they'll have it in their home for, a long, long time.
And and your big reception is Friday, October 11th for Paint the Town in Fall Colors.
Yes, and it's a free event. We'll have Zach Holzer is going to provide some music for us, and we'll have appetizers and desserts, and it'll be a great evening.
All part of the fun. Let's talk some more about some fun things, and that is the Art Center Singers, Colors of Christmas. We're already now talking, here it is 85 degrees outside in the middle of September, and yep, we're already talking about
Our big chorus.
a big chorus,
Yes.
and that is Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th.
Yeah, this is a group of about 45 local folks, and they love to sing and they love to entertain our community.
Right.
And Barb Zerwis Neisy is the director, and Tom Armstrong is the accompanist. Also, Jody Voss, she's new this year, and it's a wonderful show, and we have tickets available right now. So and we always sell out, so we advise people to
Right.
order their tickets early.
It is Saturday, December 7th, and Sunday, December 8th. Saturday the 7th is an evening show at 7:30. On Sunday, the 8th, it's a 2:30 show. And because it sells out, call now.
Yes,
Call now.
absolutely.
Or go on the website and order them. The website, PlymouthArts.org.
Yes.
And PlymouthArts.org. And you'll be able to see a way of being able to get your tickets.
Yes, and the group says that they sing such, beautiful songs, all the Christmas songs, your favorites, and they're just wonderful. It's wonderful to have a big group like this that, they're all local folks, and they do such a great job.
Yeah, and you see some, again, local talent. And so you have your local talent painters and artists, and you have your
Yes.
local talented singers. It's
We have a
always
lot
great.
of talent right here in our community.
We certainly do, and what's really neat is we have a place for them all to be part of. That's what's so nice about our Arts Center.
Right.
Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to talk about here before we talk about some classes is the fact that mark your calendar now for the cheese drop,
Yes.
because that's always a huge item also. From 7:30 to 10:30, the Arts Center will be supporting the cheese drop. The cheese drop happens at 10 o'clock on December 31st because some of us can't stay up until midnight anymore. And so the cheese drop is at 10 o'clock, all part of Sartori, and a huge family event. That's
It
the
is.
thing.
It has become a family event, and as always in the last, several years, we've been fortunate that the Sartori Company is donating cheese bags to the first 250 families
Yeah.
that attend. So if you come down to the cheese drop, you're going to get a wonderful little gift bag worth about $15 at least, and enjoy music and a cheese tasting table, and then of course we'll have our hot chocolate out by the bonfires.
Yep, all part of the fun.
And new this year is that we're starting 1 hour earlier. So instead of 8:30, we're starting at 7:30 with our festivities inside, live music by the String Along Band. And they're a great band. They sing a lot of Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline and, a lot of favorite songs. And then, of course, the cheese drop at 10 and all over by 10:30.
Yep.
We're not going to midnight, so
No.
it's truly a family event.
It sure is, it sure is. And now, that's what's all happening at the Arts Center. entertainment-wise. But we have some classes we should talk about. I know you've got a new person, part of your training people.
Yes, we're bringing on Curtis Newman. He's from Kiel, and he's got a drawing class for ages 16 and over. You know, you can be a beginner, and you know, he's going to train you in drawing, and he's going to be doing a lot of other classes as well, and probably some paint, wine and paint nights, and you know, classes like that. And probably watercolor, beginning watercolor will be coming up. But, you know, come and support Curtis as he gets started with us, and we're happy to have him.
Yes. And so we've got many things happening at the Arts Center, all prepared for the people of Plymouth.
Yes, and beyond. You
Yes.
know. Our, you know, we have people coming from Kiel and
certainly.
Howard's Grove, Random Lake. So, you know, we really have a nice outreach for a greater community.
Yes, and so we are so lucky in Plymouth to have an Arts Center. Be part of it, support it. That's what I'm saying. Support the Arts Center.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Yes, you bet. And I want to thank you for being on. We've got so many things happening. Paint the Town in Fall Colors is happening. And you've got all of these different items that we just need to be part of. That's just fantastic.
One more thing I want to mention is that we have wonderful directors, Mike Schultz and Herb Stoltenberg, coming up in January, and they're going to be doing Clue the Musical. So we have an all-star cast, and it's going to be a wonderful show. So please mark your calendar for January 9th through the 12th.
Okay.
And, you know, we'll have tickets available probably in November. But, you know, I just wanted to give people a heads up that that's coming up, and we're thrilled to have those two wonderful directors with us.
Go to PlymouthArts.org. Make sure you get your tickets for the Christmas show coming up, and because it's going to be a sellout. And there are so many things happening. If you go to PlymouthArts.org, you can see all the different events that are happening at the Plymouth Arts Center. Thank you again for being on.
Thank you.
And we're going to be coming back shortly now, and now we're going to have the superintendent, and we're going to talk about some things happening in the Plymouth School District. So stay right with us. You're watching Action 14. I'm going to hang a few of these. Welcome back to Action 14. I have with me now Superintendent Scott Steer. I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I broke you in a couple months ago, and now let's
did.
talk about the idea that now school is running.
Yeah, our obviously schools are a lot more entertaining and enjoyable when the kids are around. So we were thrilled to welcome them back right after Labor Day.
Yeah, it's been, I think we should thank a few people. The janitors and all the people had everything
You bet.
cleaned up and ready.
You bet. Buildings look tip-top shape. There were a lot of work by a lot of people took place over the summer to make sure that they were in great condition, and we were ready to go.
And of course, at the same time, I'm going to be thanking the technology crew, because think how many laptops and
You bet.
all the different, virtually every student, teacher, and aide has some kind of a device available to them.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize all the work that goes on behind the scenes to make sure what goes on in the classroom can take place.
Yes.
So absolutely.
Updating all of the machines was just crazy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then the first day the students are here at the high school, they are getting a machine.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they have any issues, well, they know exactly where to go.
Yes. And I should tell you, things have lightened up now. I think we're in very good shape throughout the district by the number of phone calls and issues that we're now, it's little things now.
Right,
And
right.
so we've got the hard stuff taken care of.
Yeah, you know, that first week to 2 weeks is a real busy one, but yeah, after that, the routines, the materials, everything, we should be in good shape.
Now you have been, for the first time, meeting all of our staff.
Right,
You've,
right.
you've gone to, like today you were at Riverview and Horizon.
Yep, yep. So part of my routine, obviously we have regular administrative meetings at district office, but opposite those weeks, I'll be going to the buildings and meeting with principals, but then also it gives me a chance to get into classrooms. Today, got to take in a little Spanish, got to hit first grade over at Horizon, and really that fills my bucket. You know, we were working over at Horizon, and we did a little turn and talk, and there were a couple that didn't have a partner, so I got to get down on the floor and hang out with them a little bit. So
Good.
it was great. It was great.
And so you're making it a point to visit all of our schools on a regular fashion, aren't you?
Yeah, every 2 weeks I should be in the buildings at a minimum. And that's something that I've calendared just to make sure that I set that time aside to get into the classrooms. That's something that's really important, I think. And, you know, as things get busy and as things pop up, that can become difficult, but it has to remain a priority.
Well, at the same time, if there are questions of what's happening in the buildings, it's fantastic if we have a superintendent that understands what's happening out there.
Yeah, I think two things. One, you've got firsthand knowledge of some things versus hearing it through the grapevine, but then also you're providing that approachability for people in the buildings and accessibility. So they can, you know, they can always seek you out via email, phone, what have you, but it's a little easier if I'm walking the halls with them or in their classrooms.
And it's also easier if they've met you and they're not
Right,
afraid of the discussion.
right. Right.
Okay.
And I'm doing my best to build those relationships early. Frankly, remembering the names of everybody is one of the things I need to work on, but it's really helping me versus a random introduction. If I can see them in their environment, whether it's a classroom or what have you, then it sticks a little bit better with me.
And this also, you are seeing them in a situation that they're comfortable with too.
Sure.
It's their classroom,
You bet.
you know, that kind of thing, as opposed to be sitting across from you in your office.
Sure, you bet.
That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so we've had all of our first meetings. The 5th grade came by themselves the first day to Riverview. The 9th graders came to the high school by
Right.
themselves the first day.
Right.
And then the second day,
Yeah.
everybody's in-house.
Yeah, and I think those transition days specifically for the 5th and the 9th graders are so beneficial because in some cases you're going to a much bigger building or the kids are much older. You go from being the oldest and now you're the youngest. It can be imposing. So I think just getting in the buildings without the anxiety of having all the kids there, even getting your lunch, what does that look like? Finding your locker, finding your classrooms. It just takes that anxiety level down, so then when everybody does show up, everybody's a little more at ease.
Now, one of the things that also happens is that we not only have all of the staff here, we have all of the students here, and now it's time to get all of our staff here. We still
Yeah.
are looking for a few. Are we 100% yet?
I am confident in saying we will be 100% staffed on the teacher side of things. We're still looking for a couple of special education aides that we could utilize. So certainly we're continuing to beat the bushes in that area.
There's such a shortage
There is.
of teachers and aides, et cetera,
Yeah.
that it's been very difficult. It's been a very difficult summer for you.
It has, and each year it gets a little more difficult, you know, but I think you're seeing that across industry, right? In all different areas, people are experiencing that shortage. I would say it's especially stressful when you need quality people in front of kids, you know, and
Right.
you've got a group of kids that are relying on that person being there. And if you can't find them, well, now Plan B is not nearly what you'd like it to be.
Yeah, we have had situations where superintendents and or principals have actually been in the classroom
Oh, yeah,
to cover because we're short on subs too.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
substitute teachers, we're shortage there too.
Right, no, very true. And it's, again, not different in Plymouth from anywhere else. Everybody's experiencing it.
Agreed.
But you're right, those things aren't sustainable. So
Yep.
we need to make sure we attract great people and keep great people.
Let's talk about the school board though. The school board is back looking and doing some evaluations, maybe for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think, and maybe it was them taking, you know, the idea that, okay, we're welcoming a new person into this role. It might be a good time to take a look at our values and our pillars and make sure that they're still current. And I think, looking at our values and pillars, I don't anticipate a lot of change, if any change. But I think it's a good practice to have the dialogue, to reaffirm that, yes, this is what we're about. And from those values and those pillars, now you can determine, okay, what are our measurables, what are our goals, and we can really start strategically planning to achieve those things.
And so it's something that probably should have been done a few more often.
Well, I don't know. I think it's healthy to review, especially as you get people turning over on the board. Now, our board, I think, has been fairly consistent, and communities don't change all that much. So there was a very in-depth process, from my understanding, that went on, say, 10 years ago, that included community, board members, administration, you name it. So communities don't change their stripes. I anticipate it being a consistent reflection from what we saw 10 years ago.
Okay. But it's going to take a little while, though.
Yeah, it's, again, healthy dialogue. I think they started at the August Committee of the Whole, continued in this most recent Committee of the Whole, and now they turned it over to the administration. We get to take a look at it and determine, okay, what are the things that really rise to the top, and what are the measurables that we think should be in each of those categories. So I'm excited about it.
Well, one of the other items, though, too, is that you're learning and meeting the people that actually make a lot of the most important decisions, the
Right.
school board.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and so you're actually getting a good handle on meeting them and understanding them.
You bet. And, we started back in the spring having one-on-one meetings with board members and so on, again, so I could familiarize myself with them and their passions and things like that. So that was a really nice way to jumpstart it. But now collectively, as a board, they're a representation of the community.
Yes.
So it's neat to see all of that come together.
Yes, I bet it is.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of great things happening now. We've been in school for a few weeks.
Right.
And in fact, believe it or not, the regular football season is half over,
Isn't that crazy?
isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
4 games in already.
Yes, and like I said, they're approaching the halfway mark of the regular season.
Right.
We certainly expect to have our football team playing in the playoffs after that, but nevertheless, it is
Right.
moving so quickly.
Right, and if you look at, for example, girls golf and girls tennis, those are even quicker seasons.
Yes.
So they are really moving. You
Yeah.
blink and they're over.
Right.
The nice thing about this fall, and Mr. Knaus can certainly speak to this, while the lack of rain is not good for our trees and our bushes and our plants, we haven't had to reschedule anything.
That's right.
So for the kids and the coaches, it's been great.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't have to mow as often.
Well, there you go. You got more time to do other things.
But let's talk about homecoming. Homecoming is just around the corner. The homecoming game is the 4th,
Right, that Friday.
and but a lot of fun things happen here, bringing everybody back.
Absolutely, it's an entire week of build-up,
Oh, yeah.
and we've got the Sunday prior to that is our boys volleyball and our girls powder puff football going on. That's Sunday right away, and then we've got activities throughout the entire week, including tug of war for the grade levels. Friday's a really big day.
Yep.
You've got the pep assembly in the afternoon, the parade.
The parade's at 4:15 in beautiful downtown Plymouth.
We're hoping everybody turns out.
It's going to be, and I hope it's not quite as warm as it is right now, but clear.
65 and sun would be fine.
It's beautiful,
Yeah,
isn't it?
right, that'd be okay.
And I've already spoken to some people that'll be at their 50th reunion. I've spoken to people, including our governor, who will be at our 55th reunion.
No kidding.
Yes, and so the governor will be here for the activities, and
Fantastic.
and I was told just earlier the mayor will walk downtown Plymouth down Mill Street,
All
be part
right.
of the parade.
Super,
Yeah.
super. Yeah, it'll be a great evening. Obviously, game at 7 o'clock, and then to wrap things up, we've got the dance Saturday night from 8 to 11 right here at the high school.
Yep, it's all part of being in Plymouth.
You bet. Go Panthers.
Yep, and I want to thank you for being here. I'm hoping that things continue to make enjoyment for you.
Yeah, absolutely love it here. So my thanks to everybody.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yep. Thank you, Mike.
And I want to thank everybody for watching also on Action 14. Until next time, I'll be seeing you on the radio. Bye-bye.